here. Hey guys, how you doing? Jason Bro here with Dual Phoenix. We're actually here tonight with our friend here, Jacob Cole.
Hello.
Jake is with 88.1 WZIP. Jake, you want to let them know a little bit about what you do out there?
Well, I film all of their events. If there's DJ interviews, I get to interview some cool people, cool artists that come through. And yeah, it's a fun time.
Cool. Jake actually had us come up and do an interview recently, and a lot of you heard that on the radio. For those of you that didn't get to hear it, though, we like to keep everybody involved, and so what we're going to do is actually stream the interview of us in the studio on the air. Thanks to Jake and everybody at 88.1 WZIP. We're good to do this, so I hope you guys enjoy, and go ahead and watch that. We'll be back with you here shortly. Thanks, Jake.
Of course.
All right, guys.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. It's the best radio station in the nation, Z88.1, guys. And guess what? We just so happen to be in college. I go by the name of DJ Easy D. That song is called Gucci Gang by Lil Pump on the best radio station in the world. Now, it is 9 o'clock. DJ Easy D is here. And to the right of me, I got my guy, King Simba.
What is going down, y'all? It's your man, King Simba. I'm here with Easy D.
And we're very excited. 9 o'clock hour, we do have an interview coming up. And we have an interview with a local production company out of Akron, Canton area. It's a lot of people in here. I'm very excited to give you guys all of this information. But before I start, I'm gonna just introduce my colleagues that I'm interviewing right now. To the left, I have Christina, Jason, Alex, and Wild Bill. How are you guys doing,
everybody?
Hello.
So, tell me a little bit about this production company out of Akron, Canton area. How did you guys start?
First of all, what is it called?
Well, we are called Dual Phoenix Productions. It first started with 4 close friends back in 2012. And we continued the tradition, and now we have one of those friends continuing that.
Wow.
And it's just, so we've been doing this for what, 5 years?
You guys have been doing it for a while. I jumped on board about a year and a half, I want to say. It doesn't seem like that long, but about a year and a half ago, Rich and I started doing stuff like a show at home where it was like a hitting hard show. It was like a talk show. Mm-hmm. People would come on and we would just interview different people. Didn't matter who you were, if you were like a fire chief or if you were in a band or whatever you did. We had a show, like a weekly show, and we put it on Facebook once a week, and it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Podcasting in a nutshell.
That type of thing is what we did, and then the next thing you know, like the films started coming, the offers started rolling, and Rich started working, and we are where we are right now because of it. So.
Yeah, it was about that time that when you were doing that show that Rich and I got together, we started doing the In the Know show.
The In the Know with Wild Bill. Wild Bill will school you once a week.
That's what I was doing. But then at that point in time, this was back late spring of this year. He was looking for some scripts because we had the 2018 season coming in for independent films. Ultimately the desire of any independent production company is to bring distribution to the area, and that's what we were looking to do.
Now, when did you guys decide that you guys were all going to come together and this was going to be something that you guys were going to do as a team?
Well, you gotta realize Bill and I live by each other, very close to each other.
It's scary. It is scary.
We were talking about doing the script, and one day he just comes over to my front door and he's bam, 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 bam. He's like, "Look at this script." He's like, "You want to do this movie?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about, man? This movie."
Does he do that a lot?
He can.
Well, I started doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I had never written a script before. Now, I've been a professional writer in the past. I've been a writer for 30 years. I've been working, as an example, there was an online video game, a text-based video game, role-playing game called Legends of Callisti, back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and I was the head writer and builder for that game. So I had been writing, but I had never done screenplays. And then when this guy, Rich Stano from Dual Phoenix Productions, he comes up to me and says, "Hey, we're already doing some other stuff, together because of my association with Jason." He says, "Can you write me a screenplay?" And I went, "Well, I guess I can."
No, I'm talking like 10 minutes.
So
Like, he comes back to the house like, what do you think about this? I'm like, wait a minute. Did
He
you
wrote it
leave?
that fast?
Boom.
Yeah.
Like 2 pages. The start of it was like right off the bat. I got like 9 monologues in my face.
See, you just over here hiding talents, not telling nobody. You knew what you was
No,
doing.
I mean, I'm just sitting there writing like, I mean, I'm like Casper the unfriendly screenwriter, and I'm just writing this crazy stuff, and I go throw it at this guy. So, and I send this to him, and I send this to these guys. But the thing is that it was different. It was unlike anything that has been seen in the film festivals for decades. It's a sci-fi comedy, and nobody does sci-fi comedy. Everybody just tries to do horror. No.
Yeah, the
We
last
did something
sci-fi
different.
comedy I saw was Men in Black, and that was like 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, and it was
Right.
made longer than that.
Yeah.
But we went a different direction, and you know what? We had a heck of a time putting this together. We had a great team of people. We had not only everybody here. I mean, let me give a shout out to a few people. Sean Jenkins, man. I mean, bringing in some people. We had Jeremy Andrew Davis bringing in some good directorial and writing advice. We had Larry Dubois. Larry Dubois is freaking awesome.
Super talent.
Super talented.
He's amazing.
Getting everything. And it was because it's one thing to say you're going to film a movie. It's another thing to have the discipline to make it happen. And you have to have somebody that can provide that discipline. And I'll tell you what, Larry DeBose was a man that did exactly that. He got everybody in control so that we could make it happen. And it was awesome.
We had a lot of great people helping us out on this film. I mean, we had Sean Jenkins, but we also had Mike Lackney, our executive producer. For personal reasons, he could not be here tonight, but we do love him. He's great at what he does.
Also, Christina, don't forget about our buddy Alex over here.
I did not.
Yeah,
forget.
You know, you just sitting over here all silent, just taking it all in.
silent but deadly over there.
Right.
The silent but deadly Gary.
He's just over there like, you guys don't even know
Right.
what I'm capable of.
Over the world.
Yeah, I was actually not in Dual Phoenix until I auditioned for the film, but I was, as an outsider coming into this, I was just really impressed with the work ethic from everybody, with what I saw. When I saw the script, I was impressed. You were talking about how you don't see that many sci-fi comedies. That's one of the things that attracted me to the part. I mean, like you said, it's like, I don't see this. It's like, this is so exciting. It's so fresh.
I love how you guys speak so highly of this film, but let the world know, what is this film called?
It's called The Lucky Thumb.
The Lucky Thumb. And we're going to be talking a lot more about The Lucky Thumb in just a few more minutes.
That sounds funny.
It sounds funny, doesn't it?
It does.
I want you guys to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I have so many interesting people in the room. It's so hard to explain right now. To the left of me, I have Christina, Alex, Wild Bill, and I forgot.
Jay Brill.
Jay Brill. Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
I had to skip over you because I was like, I was losing it. I was losing it for a second.
Hey, I'm here for you.
But we're here.
We are here.
And I appreciate you being here for me.
Let me help, man. Help you.
All right, now we're going to get back into the music.
It's the best radio station in the world, Z88.1. That song right there was called Every Time the Beat Drop by Monica and them Franchise Boys. We do play hits and bangers and throwbacks every now and then. DJ Easy D here, King Simba to the right of me.
What is going down? It's your man DJ King Simba, and I'm here with Dual Phoenix. Well, we are here with Dual Phoenix Productions, one of the hottest, probably the hottest production company coming out of the Akron 330 Canton area.
And to come to find out, they are doing a film called The Lucky Thumb. Now, tell me a little bit about this film, The Lucky Thumb. You guys were so passionate about this film. How do you feel?
First of all, how did y'all come up with the concept of that?
That was actually my concept. This is Wild Bill. I wrote the film, and I originally had written the film when I was in high school. Strangely enough, as a short story, and I wrote like about a dozen short stories, and this was just one of them. And when, earlier this year, Rich Stano from Dual Phoenix and Christina, they were looking for a, something that they could do as a short for the 2018 film season. I went, well, hey, I could give it a shot. So I went ahead and took that story and the idea, and I rewrote it into what we now have as the Lucky Thumb. And it turns out that as a screenplay, it was freaking crazy. It's a sci-fi comedy where you have this dude, okay, a totally geeky dude who's played by Alex de Corville, who's sitting right next to me. Okay.
Spectacular performance, by the
And
way.
he gave a great performance because we filmed it a couple months ago, and he's just a nerdy guy stuck in the middle of nowhere, no phone reception. He has to hitchhike, but he gets picked up by a hillbilly, metal scrapping alien.
That would be me.
And that
Yeah.
would be Jason Britt.
This would be Jason.
And that was the whole concept of the film and what happens from there, and it just goes.
Now, it takes a turn, obviously. It has to take a turn at some point.
Oh, it takes a lot of them.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does.
But it's taking a turn in a comedic way.
Right.
You know, comedy is all about being absurd, and I have a profound appreciation for anything absurd. So, therefore, this film is all about how absolutely goofy can you get and still somehow make sense.
Now, my question is this. When you said you guys did not want it to be a horror film. You wanted it to be more of a comedic sci-fi.
Right.
So, now, did this film start off as a horror film to begin?
There was already some horror. Dual Phoenix, has been around for, since 2012?
2012, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, as a company, the production company does have quite a library of scripts already available to them. It was just a question of, let's try something different. Can we come up with something different? And this was what we came up with. I had an idea. We developed it. I worked closely with Jeremy Andrew Davis. He was very helpful in helping me to develop it because I hadn't written a screenplay before. I'd always written in different genres. So working with them, we put it together. We got it so that we could make a film, and then we found some great freaking actors. I mean,
Yes,
first
both
of all,
of
I
you guys
mean,
are
Jason
spectacular.
Brill, when I was writing it, I actually wrote the character of John Boy, who is the alien. I wrote for him. The question was Gary, and that character, who was going to play that character, who we were going to find, and that's where this man, Alex de Corville, came out of nowhere. Okay, but he was perfect for the role. He absolutely nailed it in the audition.
Yeah, nailed it.
And not only that, he nailed it, on set. I mean,
Yes,
this guy.
every time.
Take the mic, man.
Oh, I rehearsed. There were 2 auditions. I went to the first one. There was a callback. I actually, the first one was a cold read, though I had the sides for the callback, and I rehearsed a lot for that. And when it came time for the, when we started filming, I spent a lot of time in rehearsing for the part too. Plus, there was also ADR work that I spent a lot of time rehearsing for that as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
ADR,
it
by
was
the way-
good.
By the way, ADR, for those who don't know, is where anytime you see a film, whatever you see being said is not what's actually said on set. Okay. Every film made today, they will take whatever the actors say, and then it's re-recorded inside a studio, and all of the sound effects, the sound of the trees, everything else, that's all done in a studio after it's recorded. That's what he's talking about with ADR.
Yeah,
Which is still also a lot of fun too, though.
Well, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that, when you make the movie, they think, okay, well, we're going to go out, we're going to film it, we're going to put a mic on it, and everybody's going to be good, we're going to edit it, and it's done. No.
Right.
There's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, we only had one location for a very limited time, so whatever noise was there, we just had to work with it and
You talking about for the green screen?
Right.
Are you talking about that day?
Actually, I'm talking more about our dawn shoot.
Oh yeah.
At
1:30 in the morning.
That was.
We had a half hour, 45 minutes to shoot the scene before the sun came up.
Yeah, we had roads closed down. I mean, how many? Bill, we had 3 roads closed down. We had.
This is where really, what we're doing right now is about bringing film production to Northeast Ohio, because although we in the film industry, we're passionate, but not only are we passionate, the community at large is passionate. We were able to have local townships, Stark County, Tuscarawas County, shut down roads for us with, full police, everything taken care of, so that we would be able to film this, and be able to produce this kind of film and produce it here. That's what we're doing. That's what we're passionate about, making film happen here.
And they did
so
that
is our community.
for an independent film company, which is virtually unheard of.
Right.
And I thought I was getting paid $80,000 to do this. What was Sean Jenkins talking about? He said,
Which is
"We didn't pay nothing
amazing.
for this?" I was telling everybody I was paid.
Nobody got paid for this film, and you guys all were
We all
so
came together
passionate
to do
about
it.
it.
Correct.
It's what we love. You got to do what you love.
One thing I admire y'all said earlier, because I'm a person who wants to get into this business too, and one thing that y'all one thing that you guys spoke about was the power of social media and how you don't need to anybody's permission anymore, because if this would have happened 20 years ago, you would have had to pitch it to everybody, wait for the project to get greenlit. But now if you have this right here, an iPhone, this is your greenlit project right here.
Right.
So that's inspirational for everybody, especially me. So what I want to know, my last question is, you said you came up with the concept, you wrote the script, but did any of y'all have any input on what was happening in this movie?
The one thing that I did was with my character, he wrote the character for me to do. So with what I could do with it, I gave him, I gave my character his accent, I gave him his personality. I kind of gave him a twang, like if you talk to John Boy kind of talk to you like this, you know what I mean? That's what he sounds like. Gave him that kind of thing.
Sounds like Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, each one of us had a little take on what we did with our characters and things like that. So everybody had a piece of how it went.
Would you guys say that you made your characters more susceptible to your actual personalies of who you are?
No. Not mine. Mine was the exact opposite of who my character would be. However, I knew that type of character, who he should be, so I knew how to go there and make that person
I want to hear
exist.
Alex's answer.
Well, I feel like there was a little.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a little bit in there because I felt like it was very internal. I mentioned how much rehearsing I had to do. It's one of those things where it's the more you go over these lines in your head and read them, you kind of realize what. It's not just words on paper. You're not just saying words on paper. You're bringing them to life, and you realize, there's a line, and you kind of gotta say to yourself, he's just now realizing this. There's one line where he's not just saying it to John Boy. Gary's saying this to himself.
Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Alex was so fun to work across because he was very in character, so it helped my character be even more twangish and more hey son, you know what I mean,
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. It helped mesh back and forth. It really worked. So
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
I love that accent, by the way. I love
I've
it.
been busier than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Is to take a story that I thought of when I was a 17-year-old, okay, and then actually write it into a screenplay, and then actually be on set and watching directors and producers and actors and grips and everything actually making that story a reality. I'll tell you what, that will blow your head.
To see something that you did when you were younger actually turn into a reality right now.
Right. Or even anybody. Anybody that wants to be a screenwriter, first of all, keep writing. Okay, never stop writing.
I think we should keep writing, y'all.
Yeah, but exactly. But the thing is that when you get to that point where you're actually watching, your ideas, your concepts, your imagination, and now it's taking on a life outside of yourself. That's what I'm talking about. It's watching that happen, and it is a real mind blow.
Just the inspiration that I'm getting from you guys and just how passionate this film is and what's to come from this film, I can tell you right now I'm personally looking forward to this film.
Where can we find it? Or is it not out yet?
Well, it's just being finished right now, so it's almost done, right?
It's still in the editing
We
stages
plan
right now.
on, we're going to be having it, the world premiere is going to be this April. It's going to be at the Canton.
We're going to be at the Canton Palace Theater and the theater in Cleveland.
And it's going to be it's going to be associated with the Canton Film Festival. So that's all going to be. It's all going to be tied into that, and I think we got a whole lot of other stuff going on too. So
yeah, we'll be popping it around to a few different spots. So,
well, this particular project has led to some others that all 4 of us, are now getting involved with.
When the lights go on.
Best radio station in the world. That song is called "Miss You" by Louis Tomlinson.
I think it's Tomlinson.
Tomlinson?
I don't know.
I don't know. Why did you put an L? Why would he put an L in his name?
People do that.
That's weird.
It is.
It's really weird. Tomlinson.
But we have one of the most promising up-and-coming production companies in the world. We got Dual Phoenix up in the building. We got Christina, Jason, Alex, and Wild Bill. I got your names all on the first try.
That's so much better than me.
first shot.
I'm going to take your job. I'm just keep trying to tell you. I'm playing. I'm kidding.
One.
Nah.
No pressure.
At all. But, so, one question I wanted to ask y'all is that, it sounds like this thing is going to go through the roof, and I have every doubt that it will, because you said guys sound so passionate, and you guys talked about how hard you work and how hard you've been working. So in the event that this thing blows up, which it will, is there anybody in the industry or anybody up and coming that you would love to be a part of your next project? Or if you want to think too far ahead, or you just want to get this one out the way, is there anybody that you want?
I like working with the people that I have worked with, but I would like to see a little bit more of Larry DeBose come back out, see what he's got in store. I always love working with Howard Sumner and all the stuff that he's done for me. Big shout out to him. Basically, a lot of the people that we have worked with, they're just a pleasure to work for. I don't know, Alex, what do you guys think?
I do have one that I would love to work with one day.
His name is King Simba. No.
But it's one of those things where you grow up watching the movie as a kid and you're like, wow, to work with this person would be amazing. And that's actually Rudy Rudiger. We got a chance to meet him. He signed some articles from the newspaper when we were featured in for the Lucky Thumb. Front page. Mass Independent. We were in the Canton Repository. We had all this media, and he signed that for us. And he's just an amazing person, and that's just one that I would love to work with one day.
What about you?
Well, I'm not really picky about who I want to work with. I really did love working with everybody. I mean, I like working with everyone so much. I even brought back Richard and Christina to work on my web series Pinheads. But I mean. Something Jason said while we were on break is, if somebody's got a good project, I'll be happy to work on it. Though if there's anyone particular I want to work with, if there's a love scene with Natalie Dormer on the table.
Wow. He made it specific what kind of scene.
Right. He was there.
Okay.
There's a love scene on the table.
I'm not writing it for you. Okay, you have to write that yourself.
Now, my question on the hypotheticals would be, if you had any type of genre of movie that you would want to work on, what genre would it be?
I always wanted to do The Outsiders. That was one of the movies I've always wanted to be.
Some of with Tom Cruise and Soda Pop in there.
Yeah, that was one of the movies I always wanted to do.
You young people don't know that movie. No, I'm playing. I'm young too. But basically, The Outsiders is literally a group of outsiders that takes place in the 50s. Danny, the John Travolta greaser look. Everybody has that look in this movie, and
it was like greasers and Socs. So it was like Mustang guys, and then it was like guys with Levi jackets and switchblades type deal.
Picture this: picture Grease meets Boys in the Hood. That's Outsiders.
There you go.
That's Outsiders.
Wow.
Check it out if you haven't seen it.
That's a good analogy.
Wow, Bill is so hurt right now.
The comparison, it was just...
Because it is.
It's wrong. It's sick and wrong, and I love it, okay?
Right?
That's what I was thinking. I was just like, wow, that is...
But it's so accurate, though.
But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to genre, I think your question is poignant, because that's a big problem in Hollywood today. Look at the complaints we have. First of all, you have Hollywood putting out remake.
Yes.
Let's do another hero. Meanwhile, while everybody that means something is out doing stupid stuff, and causing all kinds of problems. As far as I'm concerned, genre is dead. If you want to be real in Hollywood today, you have to create a new one.
And I love that you totally agree about that, because this is how I feel about just the movie industry.
How do you feel about it?
It's watered down. A lot of people are producing a lot of the same movies.
Yes.
Including the plot. The plots are the same. And it's really hard to find a movie where it's like, this is different from the next movie.
Keep in mind that in Hollywood, I mean, when you're as a screenwriter, okay, there are formulas and specific methods that are expected and demanded by the industry. I mean, we're talking the Writers Guild of America. There are specific things that you're supposed to do, okay? However, one thing that they cannot do is control your ideas. They can't control how you think. They can control how you write, because you have to write in a way in which your film, 1 page equals 1 minute. I mean, there's very specific, ways the industry expects, but it's what you put in it, and it's the putting in it that right now is not up to par, and it hasn't been for a good 7 years, and people are tired of it.
Now, elaborating on that, how do you guys feel? I really want to know this. How do you guys feel about remakes of movies?
I'm tired of it.
I don't dig the remakes of movies. However, if Will Ferrell asked me to do a remake with him, would I do it? Yeah. But I'm not a big fan.
There's only one movie right now in my mind that I would actually do, and I would write a remake for, and that is the Battleship Potemkin. I would write a remake of that film.
Well, that would be like a first, because I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one. I mean, have you ever seen that iconic scene where where people are being shot and the baby carriage goes by itself down the stairs?
Yes, I have.
That's Battleship Potemkin, 1925. This thing was done in Russia, and no one has done it again. That film, I am going, mark my words right here publicly on this radio station, I will make a remake of that film. I
believe you. Your face is getting red. Your face is getting, I see you. But,
I will write it.
I think what you said about, genre being dead is like, it's also true, because like you said, a lot of these movies keep coming out, and all these movies coming out, they usually come out at around the same time, and they drag on for like years. Like remember like from like 09 to like 2012, like the found footage genre, because it started out with Paranormal Activity, then it had Haunted House, which was a parody, but like all these found footage movies came out at the same time, like the vampire movies like Twilight and
Blair Witch, right?
Blair Witch, all at the same time, and they drag on forever. Like it's like sometimes Hollywood doesn't know how to let something be cool once.
When it's done.
Right. Let something
Hollywood,
be cool once.
Your audience is intelligent. Quit expecting us to be stupid.
And that's why we need more people writing screenplays. That's why, we're looking and saying, hey, you know what? If you know how to write a scromplay, bring it to us. We want to see it.
You know what else I really hate about Hollywood? And I really shouldn't talk because I'm trying to be in Hollywood. But what I really don't like about Hollywood is like you can tell like when they write a scene that they want to be realistic, but it's completely not realistic. Like the characters perfect example is Purge Anarchy. Now it's cool if you want to have a black character in there, but what black person do you know talks like that guy in the movie? No, nobody talks like that. No. At all. I know you haven't seen the movie.
I don't know.
Watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
I was going to be like, yeah. Nah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm somewhat aware.
Now, one of the questions that I have for you guys, and this will be my last question, you guys talked about how this is a sci-fi comedy, and you guys want to get a cult fan base behind this movie, in a sense. Now, in comparison, what would you guys say the characteristics of these sci-fi movies, such as the Star Wars or Lord of the Rings,
Men in Black,
with their cult following or their cult fan base?
Bill, that would be up to you, buddy.
Okay. Cult fan base is based on a specific social group that has something in common with the genre. Now, what you're asking about is specifically those folks that are into the sci-fi and specifically sci-fi comedy. These are the folks that love Douglas Adams. They love the work of Mel Brooks with Spaceballs. They love the work with Galaxy Quest. Okay, they're into that sort of geekdom. So we're going there. Okay, that's who the cult following is going to be. I mean, we're talking Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of cult following.
Meets Deliverance.
Exactly.
My characters.
Where I mean, this is a genre that people do like. There are folks that like that, and also if people like it, then people also like poking fun at it. And if you've got something that's lovable, then make fun of it, and you're going to find an audience.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's why those parody movies, like another episode of something that got dragged out forever, because Scary Movie came out, then Epic Movie, then Date Movie, then, all these other stupid parody movies came that weren't even funny. Like,
speaking of which, Paranormal Activity, that got dragged out.
It did. I just said that. I said that earlier. Like, that found...
There were 4 of them.
Right, because it Paranormal Activity, then it was Cloverfield.
Yes.
Yeah, got drug out forever.
One of my favorite trilogies is Back to the Future. Yeah. I so appreciate that they've had the restraint to stop at 3.
Right.
Yes. And I think a lot of people, they don't know when to quit. Just because I feel some people...
Are you talking George Lucas?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, but all of those movies are completely different sagas in themselves, though. Like, it's not the same story.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them right.
That in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, this is just, it's been a time. We have been having a time up here. Where can we find you guys on social media?
You can find us on Facebook at dualphoenixproductions.com, or you can give us a call. Our phone number is 330-323-7943, and we also have our email address at dualphoenix71@gmail.com.
My last question for you guys. For a young independent filmmaker out there, what advice would you guys give them?
Live by your writer. I don't. No, I don't know. Bill, what would you say?
Well, again, coming from the writing side, I mean, I've had so many people tell me that I got a great idea. I've got a great idea. Well, guess what? You are what you write. You are not what you think. You are what you write. If you want to make your idea meaningful, you have to write it. You have to put it forward in a written medium. If you want to make it in film, I don't care if you're an actor or a writer or whatever, write down what you want to accomplish. Otherwise, you will accomplish nothing.
And don't give up, because you know what? You're going to have many attempts where you're going to fail before you can pick yourself up and get on that plateau and keep going.
And my advice is make sure that you are committed.
Yeah. Bathe often, use soap and deodorant.
Oh yeah, but thank you all for coming.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all, and I really want to back up on what you said. What you said, Christina, about how you're gonna, get told no a lot, and how you're gonna, fail a lot of times before you succeed. And I tell people all the time, you can get 1,000 no's and to get one yes, and you're on Z88 about to do a world premiere of a movie. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it happens. And one example that I always use, and what's his name from Red Rose Panic? Sticks, yeah. He's a drummer. But Sticks, that's why his name is Sticks. But
Sticks.
Yeah, he gave
Scott?
Okay. He gave this example of, the cleaning product 409. The guy who made 409. You want to know why he called it 409?
It was the 409th formula that he had tried, despite the fact that it was also the cubic inches of a particular.
Man, I really thought I was about to drop a gem on y'all, and y'all was about to be excited.
Bill is
I was like, man.
The more you know.
I don't even have a thick Googler at home. I just call him. I swear to God.
All right, well, thank y'all for coming. This is your host, DJ Easy D. I'm your co-host, King Simba, for right now. And we got Christina, Jason, Alex, Wild Bill, Dual Phoenix. Thank you guys for coming.
The Lucky Thumb, be on the lookout for it.
When is it premiering again?
April this year.
April 2018.
At the Palace Theater in Canton. Be there.
Follow us on social media. We'll let you know.
Absolutely.
All right. And we are out. Woo.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to let you guys know, for those of you who tuned in the middle of that segment, that was actually the recording of us when we were on 88.1 WZIP doing that interview. So, we weren't just there just now, just to fill you in on that. But I am here with my buddy Jacob Cole.
Hey.
And Jake, before we go here, I want to ask you, how'd you get involved in all this and get all this stuff set up, get everything rolling with us?
Well, it's just the people, I was able to run into a few people that took me into the direction of WZIP, and it really made me love the community radio side of everything. So I knew I wanted to use my talents to really promote them, make them look awesome, and make you guys look awesome, and make everybody else that comes through look super good. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool, man. I do want to thank you once again,
Thank you.
for letting us come out
Absolutely.
and do the interview. Do you have anybody else that you would want to say anything to, or
Help my channel out. Go to at J. Cole Films on Facebook. It's actually in the comment section below. Check me out. I actually post every week. New Year's resolution is one short film every week. And I'm actually keeping up with it. So yeah, hit me up. I'd like to say thank you to Demir and Cameron for being the two awesome hosts at WZIP to come let us into their awesome studio and filming with them. They're super awesome guys. Check them out on social media. Yeah.
Hey, well, once again, we want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you spent the time. We want to put that on there so you can see what we do while we're doing it. Once again, Jason Brill with Dual Phoenix Live here. We're out. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.
So yeah.